Canada is the second largest country in the world, covering 3.9 million square miles with coastlines on the Atlantic, Pacific, and Arctic Oceans. The country has vast natural resources, including the Canadian Shield, a mineral-rich geological formation covering much of central and eastern Canada. Lawrence River connects the Great Lakes to the Atlantic, serving as a major trade route. Other significant rivers include the Mackenzie River, the longest in Canada, flowing through the Northwest Islands. Most of Canada's population lives within 100 miles of the U.S. border, with major cities including Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, and Calgary. Toronto is the largest city and the country's financial center, while Montreal is the heart of French-speaking Quebec. The Rocky Mountains stretch through western Canada, while the prairies provide fertile farmland. Canada has vast boreal forests, Arctic tundra, and thousands of freshwater lakes. The Northern Territories are sparsely populated, with indigenous communities making up a significant portion of the population. The country's economy relies heavily on natural resources, including oil, timber, and minerals. Climate varies from temperate in the south to subarctic and polar in the north. The United States covers 3.8 million square miles, bordered by the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, and sharing long land borders with Canada and Mexico. The country has diverse landscapes, including the Appalachian Mountains in the east, the Rocky Mountains in the west, and the Great Plains in the center. The Mississippi River, the second longest in North America, 2,340 miles, is a major trade route, while the Missouri River is the longest at 2,341 miles. The Great Lakes, shared with Canada, form the largest group of freshwater lakes in the world. The U.S. has both the hottest and coldest recorded temperatures in North America, with Death Valley reaching 134 degrees Fahrenheit and Alaska's interior dropping to minus 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Mount Denali in Alaska is the highest point at 20,310 feet, while Death Valley's Badwater Basin is the lowest at 282 feet below sea level. The country has major biomes, from temperate forests in the east to deserts in the southwest and tundra in Alaska. The U.S. population is over 330 million, with most people living in urban areas. The largest city is New York, with over 8 million residents, followed by Los Angeles and Chicago. California is the most populous state, with nearly 40 million people, while Wyoming is the least populated, with about 580,000. The Sun Belt, including Texas and Florida, has seen rapid population growth, while some Rust Belt cities have declined. The U.S. has vast agricultural regions, with the Midwest producing corn and wheat, and California leading in fruit and vegetable farming. The country's extensive highway system spans over 4 million miles, supporting commerce and travel. The Gulf of Mexico influences the climate in the south, while the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans impact coastal weather. Natural hazards include hurricanes in the southeast, tornadoes in the Midwest, and earthquakes along the west coast. Mexico spans approximately 760,000 square miles, making it the 13th largest country in the world. It is bordered by the United States to the north and Guatemala and Belize to the south, with coastlines on the Pacific Ocean, the Gulf of Mexico, and the Caribbean Sea. The country's terrain is dominated by two major mountain ranges, the Sierra Madre Occidental in the west and the Sierra Madre Oriental in the east, with the Mexican Plateau between them. Pico de Orizaba, the highest peak in Mexico, stands at 18,491 feet. The Rio Grande, or Rio Bravo, runs along 1,254 miles of the U.S.-Mexico border, while the Usumacinta River is the longest entirely within Mexico at about 600 miles. Mexico has a population of over 126 million, with more than 20 million people living in the Mexico City metropolitan area, one of the largest in the world. Other major cities include Guadalajara, Monterrey, and Puebla. The Baja California Peninsula, at 775 miles long, is the second longest peninsula globally, while the Yucatan Peninsula features cenotes and extensive limestone cave systems. Mexico's climate varies from arid deserts in the north to tropical rainforests in the south. The country is a top producer of silver, oil, and copper, with agriculture and tourism playing major roles in its economy. Located on the Pacific Ring of Fire, Mexico experiences frequent earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. The Gulf of Mexico influences weather patterns, contributing to hurricanes along the eastern coast.